Welcome to your City Commission meeting. Please turn off or silence all cell phones during the meeting. Meetings are televised every day on Channel 2 at 6 p.m. at midnight and available for viewing on YouTube. Call to order, Pledge of Allegiance, followed by silent meditation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Okay, first up is old business. Consideration of previous meeting minutes. Minutes from July 26th, 2022 regular meeting. Any questions or concerns from my fellow commissioners?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just need a motion.
Madam Mayor, move to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Second.
Okay, begin voting.
Aye.
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 Okay, passed. Okay, up next, new business, public comment. i.e. items not listed on the agenda or receipt of petitions. Public comment is limited to 2 to 3 minutes, and no action will be taken by the commission on public comment items. Please state your name and address. A sign-up sheet will be provided in the commission chamber for anyone wishing to speak. And I believe we do have,
Mr. Dave Davis.
okay, Mr. Davis, welcome. Just name and address, please.
My name's Dave Davis. I live at 3800 Richmond Drive, Leavenworth, right down the street from Mr. Hingula there. Thank you for giving me the time to make a recommendation that I firmly believe will be good for our city as well as the surrounding community. My recommendation involves the Great Life Golf Course located on Eisenhower Road. The word on the street is that Great Life is planning to sell that property in the near future. As background, for years our area had 3 excellent golf courses: Leavenworth Country Club, which required a membership; Shrine Park, which was 9 holes but open to the public; and the Trails West course on Fort Leavenworth, which was also open to the public. A few years ago, Shrine Park course, then a part of Great Life and Fitness Corporation, closed, and I heard it was sold for potentially another apartment complex, although that hasn't materialized yet. The Trails West golf course on the Post has essentially become inaccessible to the public due to the increased security measures resulting from 9/11. That left the Country Club course, which was also purchased by Great Life. Unfortunately, the profit margin for that course must not have been large enough for Great Life, and it appears that they have stopped putting much money into it. Consequently, the course has fallen into disrepair, and members are dropping like flies. Perhaps Great Life prefers to put their money into more profitable courses, I conjecture. The Leavenworth-Lansing area is large enough to support a public municipal golf course. I went on the internet and found at least 17 municipal golf courses in the state of Kansas. 10 of those first 17 are in cities smaller than the combined Leavenworth-Lansing population based on the 2020 census. Some of those 10 are much smaller and out in the middle of nowhere, literally, not near any large municipalities. I originally surfaced this idea with the new director of the Leavenworth County Development Corporation. I believe that having a nice public golf course in the immediate area would be a boon in attracting new businesses and industry, as well as families who may want to settle in a smaller city rather than residing in a larger Kansas City area. There's one more point that I'd like to make. These days, it's almost impossible to throw a stick and not hit either a new housing development or a new self-storage complex. As Edna Wagner stated yesterday in our Parks Board meeting, we need to try to preserve what little green space we still have left in our community. That property is on a beautiful site that's on a major thoroughfare on the way to our business and industrial complexes, and could be resurrected into a first-class golf course that we can all be proud of. I realize that the Great Life Golf Course resides on the northern edge of the city of Lansing. Therefore, I recommend that either our mayor, ma'am, or our city manager, Paul, reach out to your counterpart there in Lansing and initiate a dialogue about a possible joint venture to purchase that property and keep it as a golf course. That way it would be open to the public. It is a potentially win-win for all concerned. Perhaps the county may be willing to get involved as well. In closing, perhaps a feasibility study is warranted, as there are options to consider after having talked to some of these municipalities and their courses. Two options that initially come to mind are a city-county-owned course operated by their own employees, or contracting out the management and operation of the course to a professional entity. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank you.
Yeah, did you want to,
Mr. Davis,
he wants to ask a question.
before you leave, do you play golf?
I used to, but since my knee surgery, I've no.
Okay.
Even when I did play golf, I didn't play it well.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Yes. Any others?
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
Did we have any other public comment? Anyone? Okay. Okay, moving on. Mayor's appointments. Mayor Leon Hard, I move to appoint to the Leavenworth Planning Commission Kathy Kim to an unexpired term ending May 1st, 2024. Reappoint to the Community Development Advisory Board Tony Majors and Ralph Taylor to terms ending August 31st, 2025.
Second.
Begin voting with Commissioner Hingle.
And, aye.
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 Okay. Up next, Resolution B-2316, designation of contract employee apartment unit at Planters 2.
Said, item will be handled by Andrea Cheatham, who's the housing manager for the Leavenworth Housing Authority.
Welcome.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Commissioners. You may notice that by the resolution that the policy report has been amended to clarify, instead of saying full-time employee of Planters 2 as a contract employee instead. As it's not funded through the city, it is actually a contract position that is paid with federal funds. This position has always existed as long as Planters 2 has been there, as far back as I can check and see. This is just a new procedure that HUD is requiring among many other changes that they're making. This is a really important position for us at Planters 2. It helps it's like our eyes and ears when we're not there. And they kind of help take care of the building when we're not on the premises.
Okay. Yeah, questions?
So this would be the contractor's home?
There's a 2-bedroom unit on the first floor. It's the only unit on the first floor, apartment 100. And yes, it is housed, they actually live in the building, and they come on duty when we close at 5, and then they're on duty till we open back up again at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then also on weekends and holidays.
And again, we've always had this position. I oversaw that building for years, or the housing office. We actually one time had a young police officer that lived there. It's a unique opportunity for somebody to live there and sort of be the night and weekend
Yes.
contact for those residents, so they always have somebody to go to.
Yeah.
And HUD is just requiring that a resolution be passed by the governing body acknowledging that.
That it's, yeah, in writing. Okay.
Totally in support of it. As many apartments as is there, we need to have that coverage.
Someone, to be able to reach out. Someone's there all the time.
Is this a contractor who's contracted directly to the city, or it's it's an employee of a contractor?
No, it's an outside in person. It has nothing to do through the city. I just hire through the housing authority office.
Yeah.
We do our own hiring over there for whoever takes that position. We currently have a pastor and his wife living there with their 2 grandchildren who they have had to take care of.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Any other questions, or just need a motion?
I move that we approve resolution number B 2316, designating apartment 100 located at Planters 2, 200 Shawnee Street, Leavenworth, Kansas, as a housing unit for a contract employee of the Leavenworth Housing Authority.
Second.
Begin voting. Commissioner Martin?
Aye.
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 Okay. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up. Bids, contracts, and agreements. Consider award of bid for the 5 Mile Creek Bank Stabilization Project.
Madam Mayor, Commission, this will be Earl Wilkinson, the Deputy Director of Public Works.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the commission. The school district and the city of Leavenworth partnered with a consultant to complete a study on 5 Mile Creek from New Lawrence Road to 10th Avenue. This reach of the creek was experiencing bank erosion and bank failures that could encroach on the adjacent trail, football field, and sports complex near Richard Warren Middle School. This project will correct the area that was creating the most concern adjacent to those facilities. So in January of 2022, the city contracted with McAfee Henderson Solutions to design the project. The project was advertised during the July month, and then the bid opening was August 3rd. We received 4 bids. Line Weaver Construction of Lansing was the low bidder at $120,549. Line Weaver Construction is an established contractor, and they have done numerous successful projects for the city of Leavenworth. The engineer's estimate for the project was $86,849, and Line Weaver's bid was 39% above that estimate. To explain some of the concerns with the difference in the prices, there is still a lot of uncertainty in the current bidding environment. Supply chain issues continue to be problematic for the construction industry. Also, with this specific project, there are some access challenges for the contractor getting back to this actual site. And getting back to the site, there is property that could potentially be damaged and the trail that could potentially be damaged. So we asked the contractors to basically put that within their bid when they bid the project. Apparently, the engineer did not include that in his bid estimate, so that is a big part of the discrepancy also, because we fully expect with the age of the trail and where they would have to basically set up for construction that they would end up damaging those areas, so that they would have to reconstruct those basically fully as part of that project. So at this time, we don't really see any advantage to rebidding the project. So staff would recommend the city commission accept the low bid received from Line Weaver Construction in the amount of $120,549 for the 5 Mile Creek Stabilization Project. And if you have any questions.
We're just talking about one bend in the creek, the one that's closest to the football field?
Yes, we are. We're talking about that one major bend in the creek.
I almost fell into it once.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Earl, will the work there improve the conditions downstream or slow deterioration downstream or affect the rest of the?
It very well could improve the downstream area. Basically, anytime that we do this type of improvement, it does help the reach below those areas of improvement. It helps with some of the turbulence, if you will, in the creek. It also helps with the amount of sediment that is transported down the creek, which quite frankly causes issues later with, absorbing the area that would be used by the water. So it's something that we want to do to help improve that, the water quality along that stretch. There were other areas within the report that, are advised for us to do in the future, but this was really the only area that we were significantly concerned about at this point in time.
So that trail, even though it's putting it in jeopardy, I mean, it's still being able to be used right now,
Yes.
safely?
Yes.
Okay.
There's orange fencing, because the erosion is right up to the edge of the creek, and so we've had orange fencing along there for quite a while now, and it's not long before we lose that trail.
This is going to be similar to what was done on 3 Mile Creek along the banks there to keep, over here by the lofts.
Or closer to the riprap at Cody Park.
Yes,
Cody
it would be
Park.
much
Cody
more
Park,
like
okay,
what was
got it.
done at Cody
Got it.
Park.
Cody
Okay.
Park, they just did, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Do you foresee us going after the other 2 bends that are shown on the photo?
In the future, yes, but when I say the future, that could still be a few years off, but those are areas we're going to monitor, and obviously, if there's a time period where we need to get in there and take care of that, we will. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yep.
Okay, I just needed a motion. There wasn't any other questions?
Yep, Madam Mayor, move to approve the Line Weaver construction bid for $120,549 not to exceed.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, begin voting. Commissioner Hingham?
Aye.
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 Okay, thank you. Okay, next up, first consideration ordinances. First consideration ordinance demolition special assessments.
Next 2 items will be handled by our city clerk, Sarah Bodensteiner.
Madam Mayor and Commissioners, before you this evening is a request for consensus on the first consideration ordinance to levy special assessments for unpaid demolition process costs. The City Commission approved the properties for demolition through the public hearing process as set forth in the City Code. The property owners of the subject properties were sent multiple notices and given the opportunity to work with staff to make required improvements. For the properties that moved forward with demolition, the required improvements were not made by the owners, so staff moved forward with the demolition process per the guidelines set forth by the City Code. The City Code also provides for the collection of the costs incurred by the city. Some of these properties did not incur the full demolition costs, as they were able to make the required repairs to avoid demolition. However, the city did incur costs for title work. Invoices were sent to the property owners for the costs incurred via certified mail and also received past due notices. As of this date, payment for the properties listed on the ordinance have not been received, and as such, staff is seeking a consensus to place the special assessment ordinance on first consideration to recoup our costs.
I have a question. So when we sent that out and you said certified mail, did we get all those responses? I mean, do we know that they did get the information?
We did get returned on some. We did try to find alternative addresses with the help of the GIS system with the county, and we resent those as well. So we reached out multiple times if we did get kickbacks.
Okay.
But we were successful in getting those received to those property owners.
Okay.
And we don't have a collection agency, right?
No, we've never gone that route. We just assess them onto their tax.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of time frame does this cover? These?
These were all done, I believe there were some properties from 2021, and then the most recent ones were done this year.
Okay.
In the spring.
Will do.
Okay. Any other questions? Do I need a consensus for each one individual, right?
Just the 2 items.
Just
The two items.
So we
Yeah,
have a
not for
consensus
each
for the first ordinance and then on the demolition special assessments.
Okay.
Which are different than the next item, which is
Right.
nuisances, weed abatement, that type of.
So do I have a consensus with the demolition special assessments?
Yes.
Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Okay, yes, okay. Sarah?
All right.
Okay, the next one is the first consideration ordinance nuisance special assessments.
Similar process, requesting consensus for first consideration ordinance to levy special assessments for unpaid nuisance abatement costs. So the city code provides the tools for the city to abate nuisances such as mowing, tree removal, and lot cleanup, and also allows for the addition of administrative charges. The city code provides for guidelines for the assessment of the cost of abatement. Property owners are invoiced for the costs incurred to abate the nuisances and given 30 days to make payment. In many cases, properties have had to have multiple abatements made. Due to the delayed start of nuisance abatements in 2022, no assessments have been made yet for the abatement work completed in 2022. So the listed properties on the ordinance are all from 2021 nuisance abatements.
Right.
And all are well over 30 days overdue. Staff is seeking the consensus approval for first consideration.
And that was, yeah, it looks like from August 3rd through November 3rd, 2021.
Correct.
Okay. I fellow commissioners, you have any questions?
Nope.
Anything?
Pretty straightforward.
Okay, I just need consensus then?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, now we're to the consent agenda. Commissioner Martin.
Yes, ma'am. I do move to approve, Madam Mayor, the claims for July 23rd, 2022 through August 5th, 2022, in the amount of $1,149,002.68, net amount for payroll number 15, effective July 29th, 2022, in the amount of $378,424.38, no police and fire pension.
Second?
Okay, begin voting. Commissioner Hengel?
Aye.
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 Okay. So that ends our meeting, but let's go around and see, Paul Kramer, did you have anything?
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Hengel, did you have anything?
Y'all have a good week.
I don't have anything this evening, thank you.
Yeah. God bless everybody. Have a good week.
Okay, well, I have a couple things. Yeah, Paul Kramer's like, great. Well, first of all, no, it's just some fun news. This weekend is the last weekend to go see Commissioner Hengela in, what's the name of that play that you're in? It's,
Bright Star.
okay.
It's written by Eddie Brickell and Steve Martin. Yeah,
So,
arrow through the head, that's Steve Martin.
yeah, so I'm actually going to attend that on Sunday to watch.
If you really like bluegrass music, that's how it's written. It's written in bluegrass.
Great.
So, good deal. And then, excuse me. Also, on the Camp Leavenworth website, there is a lot of opportunities for people in the community if you want to volunteer just for a few hours at the children's games or, you know, at the gate or different areas. And I went ahead and me and a friend of mine signed us up today. So, but there's quite a few volunteers needed, so that's a good way you can get involved in the community, and actually then you can at least listen to the music and, you know, see what's going on. So I strongly suggest people go do that, because we need your help. Also, there is at the University of St. Mary this weekend, it's jazz, called Jazz by the River, so that's another exciting thing going on. And Haymarket Square has a free concert as well, so we got a lot happening in our little town, so get out there and enjoy it. So that's all I have. Just need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, begin voting.
Aye.
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 Okay. Thank you.